Hello, everyone. I just want to share a few thoughts on marriage this morning. There's this prevailing idea among a lot of people who call themselves Christians that they don't really need a marriage ceremony to be married. All they have to do is love each other and love God and be committed. But let's examine that in the light of Scripture because that's all that really matters. First, I want to mention the story recorded in John chapter 2 where Jesus attended a wedding ceremony in Cana. Now, what's interesting about this is most theologians agree that this was Jesus's signature on the approval of marriage. And I would agree with that. The fact that he went to this ceremony meant that he approved of it. And so that's an important thing. Also, the fact that Jesus used the wedding ceremony in many of his parables. He talked about the bridesmaid and the bridegroom, and I think that's significant too. Obviously, it has an importance. Another one that is worth mentioning is chapter 4 of John, the woman at the well. As he's talking to the woman, he tells her to go get her husband. And she says, "I have no husband." And he says, "You've spoken the truth, for you've had 5 husbands, and the man you're living with now is not your husband." Now, this is significant because he's stating quite clearly that she's living with this man and she never actually married him. If he thought that they were married because they were living together, he would not have said that. So that's very significant. The last thing I want to mention is all through the Bible, we are called the bride of Christ. And in fact, in Revelation chapter 19, verse 7, it mentions this, how we are to be married with him and joined to him in heaven. Marriage is important in the Bible because long before he created government or the temple worship, he created marriage first. And so it's very significant. The family is at the core of society. Marriage is a covenant made between a man and a woman, and it must be made before God. Now, it's debatable whether you need to have the government signature on that, but you need to have God's signature on that. And that means having a ceremony where you make a public commitment to each other, and you make a commitment for life. And until we understand this, we'll never restore marriage and family back to what it should be. Marriage is meant to show and demonstrate God's love for us and his passion for us. And so let us not forget how important being married is. If you're living together, you're not married. You are committing a sin. And I know that seems harsh, but it is the truth. And I would not do you justice if I lied to you and said it was okay. We need to remember what God says matters. And after all, he is smarter than us, isn't he? God bless and have a great day.